Yes, Shubhaji.
Hari Om everyone. Today's shloka is Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga 4.10. vīta-rāga-bhaya-krodhā man-mayā mam upāśhritāḥ bahavo jñāna-tapasā pūtā mad-bhāvam āgatāḥ. Being free from attachment, fear and anger, becoming fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me and thus attained my divine love. Vīta, free from, raga, attachment, bhaya, fear, krodhāḥ, anger, man-mayā, completely absorbed in me, mam, in me, upāśhritāḥ, taking refuge of, bahavo, many persons, jnana, of knowledge, tapasā, by the fire of knowledge, pūtā, purified, mat-bhāvam, my divine love, āgatāḥ, attained.
So just to get the context, the last week we contemplated on those who understand the divine nature, upon leaving the body, they do not take birth again. And here it's you can see that it's talking about the three things that usually keep one down: attachment, fear, and anger. So how do you go past these? Yeah. So Satish ji, do you like to start?
Yeah. So I will touch here by knowledge of me, become purified by knowledge of me. So here we'll have to understand the me here. I mean, apart from the body, mind, and intellect, and get into our awareness and consciousness, out of which we can get free from all this attachment, fear, and anger, and getting back to your root, right? So when influenced by the day-to-day churn or any bad emotions, uh, reflect back to your me, where the divine is present, and that divine will support you and try to, understand that it is a play, a role play, and thus get purified and get us back to that truth moment always. Yeah, Hari Om.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so here yeah, that's the meaning given here. But where is this starting? What is driving? What will drive one towards what this shloka is talking about? What is the do you have these? Do you want to get free from these attachment, fear, anger?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay. And how and why are they there today? And do you think you can really get free from them?
Yeah.
What kind of attachment we are referring here?
It could be with anything, could be with the money, family, relationship,
Yes.
emotion, or even your career, profession.
Yes.
Or even with your hobbies, any obsession. Yeah.
Okay. So is it really possible to get free from that attachment? And how will that be? Like, what will it allow you?
Well, as part of karma, we'll be able to come across these things on a day-to-day or every moment.
Mhm.
But how far do you get influenced by them? Is one question. And I mean, not getting influence to these things, although it is very, very tough, but the practice and with this such contemplation and with all this satsang and companionship and going through a regular Vedanta and with the help of Guru, it can be achieved.
So I just want to analyze this. Did this come naturally, the attachment? And if it came naturally, getting free looks like going against the nature.
No, it is naturally there, but the environment anyone comes up grows is ridden with such things. At every step, at every moment, at very sight of anything, these are sort of things that is visible for any layman. I mean, with all this cooling system, everything changed, and this is what is getting influenced. The actual tattva is being missed. Otherwise, naturally, we are like this.
So the actual tattva is not looking very natural, is it?
No, I said it is natural, but it has made as though look like it is not natural now. Because, as I said, I mean, for 99.99, we also take the people around us are like that. The social atmosphere and environment has made us believe that it is not natural. Otherwise, it is natural. Even if I'm saying it is natural, it is not so easy for me. So it is natural. So that truth has to set in. Yeah.
So you're saying, so I'm just trying to rephrase. You're saying the truth is natural, but due to the society, it looks not very natural now.
Yeah, societal conditions. Yeah.
Okay. And should I say then the natural is not having attachment, fear, and anger. And somewhere we lost it, and so now we are getting into this.
Yeah, and it has become svabhava now. Yeah.
Okay. And you see that uh, because of not having the clarity on the truth, one gets into this attachment, fear, and that causes trouble.
Yeah. And as Guruji says, it is not just because of this janma. It is accompanied by a lot of janmas, and it is stored in our karmas as well. And all those karmas have to be, I wouldn't say regulated, but it will take time to, even if I say surpass, it will be wrong. I mean, melt it down or whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, great. But finally, it looks like what one wants. So in this case, in this sloka, if you see what one should aim for is he is pointing towards thus attained my divine love. So I wonder if we go and do a survey, like what do you want? How many will answer that, like, I want the love of Krishna, versus the material wants of, oh, what do I want? I want this, I want that. Right? All those list of wants. Do you think so?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's what
right.
I feel.
Yeah, I have my goals. Yeah, and those goals are aligned to such materialism only. But again, it is also as part of our karma, we'll have to discharge those. So that's where it gets entangled and confused, and the priorities get bombarded, and balancing becomes a issue. And over that, aging also takes into factor. So many multiple dependencies here.
So at any point of time, the clue is like the answer to what do you want, because every day the journey of life, if you take, one starts the day with a goal in mind, right? Today I want to do XYZ, right? And if that is towards outside, towards the material wants, which basically means like we are getting attracted towards this
Materialism thing. So
yeah.
what I do usually at the end of the day, if I reflect back, and if there are comings or misgivings, I would track my mind to think what is changing, what is not changing, and get to the truth of not changing and try to convince. But sometimes that also gets myself into conflict. Am I spiritual bypassing some things?
We lost you in between. Can you please repeat it, because I just want to get it right.
Yeah,
You
I
reflect
said,
at the end of the
yeah,
day.
I said, yeah, I reflect back at the end of the day, and there will be definitely some shortcomings or miscomings or misgivings, or I might have not achieved something at the end of the day. So I go back to questioning myself what is changing and what is not changing. And not changing is the root, and changing things are always moving things, and there is a moving needle to it. So that's okay. I try to convince myself. And sometimes this convincing also puts me into a confusion, saying that, am I doing some sort of spiritual bypass?
So when you say, what do you mean by not changing? Can you clarify?
Not changing is the core. I mean, body, mind, intellect is always changing. Your behaviors, so, but not changing is your soul, that your me in I sense, which doesn't change, which is not affected by this material wants or attachment, anger or fear.
So you mean when you reflect back, this unchanging part remains unaffected, irrespective of whether you achieved or you didn't achieve in the day.
That's where I'm saying I try to convince myself and put myself into maybe a comfort zone, I would say. That's why I said, is it a spiritual bypass? I don't know. I go back to that, saying that, oh, it is unchanging I is safe, unchanging I is good. Okay, unchanging I is better. Unchanging I doesn't need all this. So unchanging I says you're always good, peace, you're happy. So if this did not happen, it's okay. It was part of the changing, right? So it's okay. It was a part of body, mind, intellect needs, and that was okay. I would say that and retire my deck.
And one last question. So in the regular day-to-day activities, do you see them influenced by this knowledge of what you are getting? Not at the end of the day, during as you are doing.
Yeah, well, sometimes if some things happen, I mean, it slips off my hand. I, I, I don't know if I put my 100% effort. I don't know, but I would try to put myself into a condition at that moment. Yeah, there is a moment of fear, anger, attachment comes. The prolongness has shortened out of this association, and try to say that yeah, you tried, you have put your effort. But again, I want to say I don't know if it was my 100% effort, that self-doubt I have, and try to put in this knowledge, and maybe put my mind into a spot where I can go back to that knowledge of me.
Yeah. So maybe we'll come back then. Thank you, Sudhiji.
Sharanji, sorry for interrupting. Satishji mentioned about a spiritual bypass. Satishji, is there a particular situation that you would like to describe? Your question is, or your whatever you mentioned is not very clear to me. What do you mean by spiritual bypass? Can you explain that?
Yeah, Vijayji. Yeah, as I said, I don't know if I put 100% effort there. For me, it may look like 100% effort, and there are certain self-doubts which would say it could have been done better, or so all that when it is having that confused mind, I try to pull in this knowledge of changing or unchanging I, and maybe trying myself to put myself into a comfort zone, or okay, that was okay. So when things are even wrong or might have done better, or I don't know if I put 100% effort, for me it may look like 100% effort, but there is some gap or something was not achieved. As I said, at the end of the day, before I retire for the sleep, I mean, putting myself into a good condition, taking the knowledge of whatever we contemplate, is that spiritual bypass, or I mean, using the knowledge to my advantage or my requirement is a sort of spiritual bypass.
Okay, so shall we frame it as a simple question? Can you frame it as a simple question? What is
Yeah,
what do you mean? Yeah, can you frame it?
Okay. Like today in the morning, I wanted to complete at least 3 talks of self-knowledge talks of Guruji. So I haven't done till now. But I was all through the day occupied, and also because of the scorching sun after I went out and came, I had to rest a while. I mean, that went for more than 90 minutes. I could have used that particular time here. But I'm still yet to complete. I don't know, before my bed, I will do it or not. I'm not sure. So at this instance or context, how I use spiritual bypass is anything for that matter, even the quench for knowledge or quench for understanding or completion as a goal, or all that is also a changing and a temporary thing. So you're not done, that's okay. So that is also I think put myself into a proper mindset, or to overcome that guilt. I'm using that knowledge, so that can be termed as a spiritual bypass.
Understood. So you plan to accomplish something, and let's say when you haven't been able to, you are saying you are resorting to using the knowledge of, at the end of the day, this is all nothing but changing. It doesn't really matter. So like that, you are consoling yourself, and therefore
I'm the unchanging.
Sorry?
I'm the unchanging, so
Yeah.
doesn't. Mhm.
And so therefore you have a question or a doubt, am I doing a spiritual bypass? That's the question. Is it a correct
Yeah. Can I take that? Yeah, say I don't know if I call it as an advantage or
am I taking a wrong advantage of the knowledge?
yeah, using it for my convenience. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Very nice question. So shall we contemplate on that?
Sure, sure.
Do you want to listen to others and then come back to this question?
No, I think we can take this question and then come back, so that like there's a continuity.
Okay. So yeah, you want to one of you want to start off?
Maybe Shubhaji.
No, I would like to listen. I am
Okay.
not
Atmajyoti?
very clear on this.
Padmaji, would you like to?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just collecting my thoughts.
Yeah. In the meantime, Hari Om Ishaji, we were waiting for you to hear your.
Hari Om, sir.
Yeah, Satish ji has started. In the meantime, you can read the explanation in the screen, and then like we can come to you.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Sure, sir.
Saravanan-ji, I think you can say the question again, no? What we are doing right now.
Yeah, so from this shloka, what Satish ji is basically sharing his view, and so the one question I asked is, looks like the goal seems to be, going by this explanation, thus attained my divine love. Okay, so the question was like, how do we all start the day with what goal? And usually if it is material goal, okay, then basically it is in the other direction from what Krishna is talking about here. Okay, and only when someone wants to go towards this, then we can appreciate what he's saying here. And any day starting towards other goals basically leads to more attachment, and from attachment one like gets fear and anger, because like fear from like not wanting to lose what I have, or like what if I don't get, an anger like when I lose that anger, right? So the question is like, are we able to start the day with this goal in mind? And that's where Satishji was talking about. He like at the end of the day, he does go through all that he has accomplished, and at times like when he feels that there are things which he has not achieved, he uses the spiritual knowledge to say that, if I am the unchanging, it should be fine. And the question there is like, is that an excuse I am using? Right, say this, Ji?
Yeah.
Kind of, right? So that's where we are. Yeah. Or maybe I can, since I narrated, maybe I will give my view. So it's at the end of the day again, what one naturally gets attracted to is where one ends up spending time and effort and prioritizes things. If for someone like who wants, like, who is very serious about, let's say, meditation, he may decide that, whatever happens, my day, the first thing I'm going to do is start with this meditation, and I'm going to get that done, and then only I will do anything else, anything and everything else. Right? And it can be different things, because at the beginning of the day, I feel the distractions are less, and so, like, whatever one wants can be easily attained by starting that. Having said that, still I have seen with myself, and what I see is what the mind has got used to. That's where it tends to go towards every day. And once the day starts in a way, then all the activities are aligned to that. And depending on how far I have prioritized what I want to achieve, it is either in the top of the list or in the middle, or like, what, let me finish all these day activities, and then, like, I want to peacefully sit and do the other things. And in which case, like, it may happen or may not happen, because it becomes a conditional thing that after finishing all, I want to come to this. Right? So to me, it's two things. One is prioritizing what is that one interested, and that comes from naturally where is that I'm inclined to. What is that I'm inclined to? Right? And as I've heard from other talks, right? They say that mind is like this big elephant, and it's super powerful. Elephant is so powerful. But then, like, how do you control that elephant? They repeatedly make the elephant do things. And to the end, that the elephant, like, comes under full control and just listens to whatever the mahout says. Right? Same way, it's about, like, how I condition my mind. What regular activities I train my mind to do. I guess, like, it will naturally it'll become a habit, and then, like, without any effort, it will happen naturally, is how I will put it. Satish ji, is this aligned to your view and question?
Yeah. So yeah, thinking in. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Padma ji.
Yeah, so I feel that the question that he brought about is also referring to today's shloka. So here, how to be free from attachment, fear, and anger. These, if we look at, they are of a lower quality, right? The thoughts related to them are of a lower quality. So this shloka is talking about attachment, or being attached to a higher quality will naturally subside the lower qualities. You don't have to think about how do I get rid of the lower ones, right? Once you get into the higher ones, the lower ones will go on their own. So taking cue from the same shloka, I think in our day-to-day life also, if I think, I see the BMI is enclosed within a certain time and space, right? For the eternal, there is no time and space. However, the BMI has to work within a time and space. So when I am given 24 hours in a day, and there are certain tasks that I need to perform, whether it is for my well-being or for supporting everyone around me, it is never going to be fulfilled, and then you are going to find time to do these kind of spiritual activities, say meditation or chanting or listening to even Guruji's video if you want to. Or for that matter, even come to these classes. Okay. So one thing is, okay, these classes, like for many of us who are regulars here, it has again, like what you said just now, Saravananji, it has been conditioned in the mind now. So one day, even if there is no class, it is not, we don't get, we are not like, okay, good, there is no class today. That is not the thought. It is like, why there is no class today? That thought comes because, like you said, we have conditioned the mind now that Sunday or Saturday, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, whatever it is, I am going to be there no matter what. See, I think the early morning classes are a testament to that, because many of us may not be early risers, but you make an effort every day, or at least Saturday, Sunday, 2 days, that this is my day, my time for my evolution. I am going to be there. It's okay. Then 2 days you might be sleepy also in the class, but third day it gets resolved. Similarly, throughout the day, when you go about doing your activities, your regular activities also, you can have the thought. See, nobody is stopping you from thinking about Lord, about God, or about any form of which is of higher value. Okay, like this picture sir has beautifully shared. It is the thought, right? You could be singing, but the thought behind, or what the mind is thinking about, can be different. We are used to that, isn't it? We also experience that on a day-to-day basis, where we are physically doing something, but the mind is somewhere else. It might be somewhere where it is not necessary, or it is not helping you. Instead of that, we can train that mind to go to the divine. You can chant. I think in relation to that, there was a beautiful story of, I think, Krishna and Narada, where Narada thinks he's Krishna's greatest devotee, Mahavishnu's greatest devotee. And one day he goes and says to Mahavishnu, I am your greatest devotee. And I think it was shared in our class only. And then Krishna says, okay, go to the Bhuloka and see. Oh, there is one devotee of mine. So go and see why he's the. And then Narada is wondering why he's considered to be the greatest devotee. Because, I am the only one who is chanting Narayana, Narayana, Narayana all the time. Who is this? So he goes down, and then when he sees this fellow is a farmer. He's only a farmer, and he's going to the, to farm, to field, to work early in the morning, say 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. He's going, and then whole day he's just occupied there. By the time he comes home, he is so exhausted, he only has time to have dinner and sleep. And then Narada keeps observing this, and one day he thinks, okay, what, he's not chanting, I have not seen him do anything like that special, like what I do. So how is he the great devotee? And he goes back to Krishna and he says, okay, let me go and ask. And he goes and asks. So he says, no matter what he's doing, he's always thinking about me. Through all the work from 4 a.m. till 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., although his body is doing something else, his thought is always upon me. Whereas you, being my greatest devotee, because you were searching who is that other greater devotee that I am talking about, you went down, and in that time you didn't even chant Narayana. You were focused on finding that person, or what is his devotion about. That was your focus, not me. You forgot about me. So I think that kind of explains like what is important in bhakti, to keep him always in the mind. When you have such divine, or when you are attracted to the higher, the way you perform your tasks also will become better. It will not be like how you perform the task while the mind is somewhere else in some other thought. If the thought is about him, your actions also will be refined, I feel. So that is what I want to say. So like rest of the things, if talking about practically following spirituality, like meditation on all this, it is like with any other thing. You have to train slowly. In the beginning itself, I cannot sit and meditate for 45 minutes, or I may not be able to chant a whole Vishnu Sahasranama. But definitely I can chant small shlokas. I can begin from there. I can meditate for 5 minutes. I can just close my eyes for 2 minutes if possible. That is something. So that is how we cultivate. Only thing is we should not drop from there. That is one thing we have to force upon, I feel. Because that way the mind is like that elephant which Saravanan-ji talked about. Thank you.
So one point I can get is like it is, we don't need to consider as two separate activities. Rather, whatever one is doing, it can be flavored by this spiritual, the bhakti or right. The
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yes.
Satish ji, any questions, comments?
No, got it. I mean, one was, as you said, conditioning the mind, as other discussion I heard was building the habits. Yeah.
Yeah. So which goes back to like what seems to be the important thing for one, right? Priorities, right? Because there are like infinite things to keep one attracted to. And then like we can always see that like after achieving that material thing, it doesn't seem to like give that satisfaction, and we quickly jump to the next one.
Yeah.
Right? So that's where the evolution leads to this search. Okay, there is something that has to be above, which will give satisfaction. Right? Yeah. Vijay ji, so do you want to address, or we will go to Isha ji and then come back?
Let's listen to others and then we will.
Okay, Isha ji, would you like to share?
Sir, I'm completely out of syllabus today. I'm still guiding Vijay, sir. Can start off. So, when I listen to him, if I have some doubts, you are able to hear me.
Is she audible to others?
No.
No.
I am
Even
not
I
able
was
to
thinking-
hear.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I was thinking it is only me. Okay.
Isha ji, would you like to repeat?
Oh.
I think.
Meanwhile, does Shubhaji and Shashti ji also want to share their view on the shloka?
Yes, Shashti.
Yeah, Vijay ji. I would like to go to Padma ji, like what she said. Like whatever I just understand from her, like whatever we do, we have to do God is within us to do that, or how? I'm having one doubt in that one. Whatever task we perform, is God is making us to do that task, or we should think about God like we should do that task to God.
Okay.
So you are asking, I mean, I'm just trying to understand. You're asking whatever task we are doing, is God asking you to do that, or what is it, or?
God is making us to do, or do we just do the task and give to God?
Okay, I think, okay, nice way to put it. But I think they both kind of mean the same way. Okay, because for me, at least, why I'm saying that is, see, one thing is I can completely surrender, saying everything is His will. Okay, so whatever happens, I am not the doer. Okay, I don't say that I did it. So it's all God's doing. That way I can see. Okay, one way of seeing any activity that I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, every day in the morning, our waking up itself is a divine thing only, right? It is possible that we might not wake up tomorrow. So right from that point, if you think as it as a gratitude, as a blessing, then he only woke me up. So if I have woken up, then let me do all this. Because again, these are the things that he has only assigned me, finally. If I see it that way. Okay, another way is, there is a divine within me. Okay, so when I am doing my tasks, I am not doing it for my son, my husband, or my friend, or my mother-in-law, father-in-law, mother, father. I am doing it for the divine in them.
Okay.
So in the end, I am serving only myself, isn't it? Because that divine is the constant, which is like the one which is holding us all together. It is the one divine. So I am again serving myself also. I can say it like that. Or I can say I am serving the divine in others. So both the things what you said can be applied equally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So divine in others also means they are also in, we are saying like all are one. So it also goes to the same like me means to one soul. All are in one soul. So then why, what is that makes sense? Like we have to make others divine.
No, we are not making others divine. We are just seeing the divine in them. Okay. For example, see, it is easy for me to see a divine in my husband or in my son because there is some attachment in that, right? I love them. That is the attachment there. However, to see a divine in someone else, to whom I don't know, say somebody is coming to my door to beg, to see divine in him is not so easy. It doesn't come naturally, is what I'm saying. More than easy, it doesn't come naturally because you have no attachment to that person. Okay.
Yeah.
So here, that is what it is saying. When you are attached to somebody in this shloka also, when you are attached to somebody, what they do, what they don't do affects you. But if it is a stranger, even if he is a beggar at my door, after giving him food, I will not think about them the rest of the day. Okay. I have done my bit. That's it. Okay. And he will also, while receiving it, he might say, okay, very nice. Or he might say, we're not very nice also. Anything is okay with me. I'm not going to think about it whole day. But say if I serve the same food to my husband or to my son, and they say, oh, what, it is tasteless today. How can you prepare such horrible food? If they say like this, because of the attachment that I have, can I see divine in them now? No. Whole day I will be thinking about that. That is going on in my mind. No matter what else I'm doing, this will keep going on in my mind. How did they say this to me? I'm doing this every day. See, the doership is coming now. Now there is no divine with me because divine will not say that. Same way, I'm also not seeing the divine in them, because I'm getting affected in ways and I reacting according to what they said. So seeing the divine means going above all this, going higher than what your body, mind or intellect is, what you think you are, going beyond that. So even if they say that food is not nice, okay, it doesn't matter. Today it has turned out like that. That can also be one reply. I don't have to take it in my mind. Okay, today it has happened. Something is wrong with the food or you don't like it. It's okay. Tomorrow we'll see what happens. That's all that can be done there. Correct? Nothing else can be done. So already cooked food cannot be modified. So what we can offer at that moment, if we are offering that, that itself is in a way divine, no? Rather than acting upon by the ego. So here, that is what I feel is important. And when I say oneness, see, what I mean is, when I'm saying I am serving, when I see the divine in others, I am also serving myself. Why do I say this? There is a story from Satcharita, Sai Satcharita that comes to my mind, where one day Baba tells one of his devotee, I am very hungry, Amma, give me food. So this lady, she's a very great devotee of Baba. So she rushes home, and because he asked, she prepares hot rotis and sabzi and she'll bring it. And when she brings the food and gives it lovingly to him, what he will do is there will be a dog next to him and he will serve all the 4 rotis to that dog. And the dog will eat, relishing that. And then she will get really upset. She will say, what is this, Baba? You know, you asked roti, so I went all the way because you asked and because I love you so much, I made roti sabzi, and look what you did. You gave it to the dog. And then Baba says, because you gave the roti to the dog, look how satisfied he is, and how you satisfied him, so you satisfied my hunger, is what he will say. So there is a divine in that. No, he was able to see that. The devotee was not able to see that. She saw a different separatedness in Baba and the dog, whereas he saw the Paramatma only in both. He connected with that. That is why his hunger got satisfied, because the dog ate. So divine, serving the divine is from that perspective, what I said.
So yeah, Sashti, so when you, as you say, like either ways, let's say doing work for him, God, or taking that every work has come from him. In ways you are basically satisfy this phrase here. You are like fully absorbed in God all the time. Okay, and that means you are, I'm doing it. I'm doing it for you. Okay, and that purifies you. Okay, and that purification leads to his divine love for him, for you.
What does it means, like many persons in the
So he's saying, he is also giving examples that I'm telling you, and it is real, like, and that is how the examples we have, like we are seeing here, right? All these example, Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, right? Mirabai, they are all the examples that how through bhakti they have served and they have got the love of God. Right? And we know of all their stories. Yes. Right. Okay. Thank you. Ishaji, I hope we took you to a place now where you can share your comments.
I'm really not sure, Saronaji. I think I have to hear Vijayji as well once, because my thoughts are all over the places for the shloka. I'm still not come there.
Okay. All over the place.
No, I don't know exactly what to say, because what I gather from hearing, I started hearing from you and then Padmaji. So from you both, and then I didn't hear Shashtiji's questing, unfortunately, because my connection was on and off. But I heard what Padma had to reply for that. So yeah, from all that, how much I gained is, I feel, end of the day, work is worship. So when whatever you do it with full consciousness, and that is like offering prasad to God. Whatever you do. This is something which I did personally. Okay, it's not possible for me to gain weight at one particular time of my life, not now. But when I was like in 20s and all, in teenagers, I was like, whatever I eat, I'm pretty tall. So people say, why don't you eat more? I'm like, how much more can I eat? And you know how tough it is when you go to college to have breakfast and go. Because we wake up really late and we rush to college. No, so what I used to do, I used to tell Mama, don't prepare all this idli dosa. I'm not able to eat. I'll just eat curd rice in the morning. It's easier for me to swallow. Even that I couldn't eat, because somebody told me eating curd rice will make you fat. Okay. So next, what I did, I had this habit of, going and praying before I leave the house. One small shloka I'll say. So I used to take this curd rice, keep it near to inside my puja room, pray and make it a prasad and start eating it. I'll say, prasadam you shouldn't waste. Okay. So that's a small thing which I used to do. So everything happened like that. Okay. And for me, chemistry is like learning. I have no idea. Even today, I see this 8th grade chemistry book and be like, I can't learn. I don't understand anything. So when I used to learn, I still remember, okay, I used to read one shloka. I used to write one shloka after 2-3 pages. I used to keep that page after 2-3 pages. So I used to think, if I reach after 2-3, if I finish learning the second and third page and reach for that
Wow.
paper, that means God is with me, kind. So all this is, so I have done all this as, during my study, younger days. So I could see, I used to do it in a regular basis to get connected with God. If I do this, that it will be always that normal work a kid has to do, a normal thing only, like writing homework, writing assignment. That is simply only we should do. But then I used to, literally put God there, and I used to say, yeah, if I do like this, I'm making God happy. If I eat well, it's like,
Consciously,
no,
you are thinking of him all the time.
yeah, this is what I used to do. No, I am very fond of all the gods, but again, my mind is seasonal. Okay, so sometimes I used to go to Om Shakti. Sometimes I used to be with Shiva. Shiva is my all-time favorite. So yeah, like that. Each one I used to start off, and I used to do according to that. Maybe 6 months. Somebody is my favorite kind. So like that, that's how my everyday activity is, including today as well, including the day. Now I don't do like that. Maybe I find it little kiddish, but I will. When I used to take weird in your head, you used to say. So everything, even now when I do something, I won't keep the paper and all, but yeah, consciously I keep thinking, this, if I do like this.
See, that innocence of the childhood days is real. How it kept you, how it
Now
kept
when
you
I do,
close.
yeah, I keep saying, when you make your parents, when are your parents happy? End of the day, Sarvananji, I feel when you are getting a child, we'll only think of my child has to be healthy. After that only we'll think, color and gender and how tall, how fat, all that is coming secondary. First we'll think healthy
Yes.
child. It's so easy to make your parents happy. You just have to be healthy, right? Like that, God also, it's very simple. You just have to be yourself. You just have to be the best version of you when you're doing your work. That's it. And you can see God in everyday's everything, whether you're helping somebody. And from what Padmaji said, about that beggar when you give, it's always, I think what I could understand from what she said is, when she said, see divine in others. It's almost like saying, like, treat somebody the way you treat yourself. When you see some hunger, what do you do when you are hungry? You eat food. So you feed somebody food.
Yeah.
When somebody is fallen down and they're hurt, what do you do when you are hurt? You want somebody to lift you. You lift that other person up.
Yeah.
It's in a way to on the way, I feel that is what is everyday constant. From the story she said, the guy farmer he was constantly working. So when he's plowing his field, he's saying, okay, God, hope it rains today so that I can cultivate. And, a farmer, when he's doing his job also, it's not just for him and his family. If you take farmer's example, it's not for him and his family alone, right? It is for entire civilization, what he grows. So every time, every thought, it will be like that. Hope my yield is good. Hope I can, fill many more hungry stomach. For and we pray. When we talk about that, right now we are all praying for rain God, right?
Yes.
Hope it rains. Then yeah. So everywhere, I think that's it's been a part of our culture. For us, everything we see divine. We see in trees. We see in food. We see in animals. We don't stamp papers. When we stamp paper, we actually go down and
And
so we
way
see
our
divine in
culture,
everything that is.
I agree. Yeah, I just wanted to say that way in our culture, like it is made very natural that God thinking is there in us almost in everything. As you said, like a book. How do you treat a book? And yeah.
Yeah, accidentally we kick somebody or our leg touches some
It's,
person also. It's not a person we are bowing down to. As Padmaji said, it's a divine
yeah,
in him. There is a God in him. You're literally kicking the God in him. So you treat something bad, you're treating God bad. You're treating something good, you're treating God good. That's all.
the
I feel
beauty is like we don't question like, oh, what happened? If my leg touches, what happened? Nothing will happen, right? So there's that kind of argument is not there in the culture. It's like it touched and like no motivation, nothing, no explanation needed. First, right? First,
yeah.
yeah, respect
We
them and
just do it, yeah.
do it, right?
Yeah, we just do it.
Yeah, very true, very true, very true. And I think uh, going away from these things that which are part of our culture is what takes one towards fear, anger, and get stuck in attachment. And otherwise, uh, the daily work or life was well knit with the spiritual understanding, thinking of God in everything, right? Agree.
Yes, yes. Agreed. Yeah. Gurukul system, the farming, everything, everywhere
So,
God was there.
so you also did you pass that to your child about keeping
Yeah, I tell him.
God?
I tell him. He knows everything. He knows when I failed, when I got pass mark. I keep telling, your mommy is no great genius. Somehow I passed my graduation. You no false thing for him, everything as it is. So I'll say two things you can do in your life: either give it back to me when I say, go, don't play Vishnu, go and learn. You can say that as if you got good marks. You can give it back to me, whatever I say. Otherwise, say that, oh, my mom has fallen here and got hurt, let me be careful in this place. Two things. It's up to you to choose now.
Very nice, Ishaji. Vijayji.
Thank you.
Wonderful, Ishaji. Very nice to hear your viewpoint, and Padmaji also. So I think both of you have covered it very well. So just to, what is that Shri Krishna is prompting us here? See, at the end of the day, what is that divine love is? Divine love is already inherent in you. But the divine love is masked. Masked by what? Masked by various kinds of impressions that you and I may have gathered from various kinds of actions or activity that we are involved with, which is what we call as the impressions, are the nothing but the baggage of the karma. How do the impressions come into you? Because the world we are living in is a world of action. You cannot but be part of the action. And as you act, every action yields a result. And that result is what gets stored. You like it, you start developing a tendency of liking that particular fruit of the action and you want more and more of it. You don't like it, you develop a distaste or you want to move away from it. Raga, dvesha. So this is the cycle of whatever the life that we are in. So this is what is masquerading your true nature. This is what is covering up your true nature. What is your true nature? Love. Here, love is not meant in terms of love that we see in movies or love that we talk about in terms of I love paratha. So there is a love where there are two separate things. Here, love is your essential nature. Just like how essential nature of the sun is the light, your essential nature is love. And that is what translates as kindness, compassion, empathy. All of that are following from that love. So the divine quality called love within you is what gets masqueraded by various kinds of impressions that you may gather in life. And depending upon the impression that you've gathered, when a new situation occurs, it may result in anger, fear, because you're acting out of whatever the impressions that are gathered. So here, Sri Krishna is essentially talking about how do you find your own core, your own divine nature, your own divinity. In order to do that, first and foremost, I have to now have the understanding of what is divine quality. So how do I come to know about divine quality? So here, Sri Krishna is simply saying, they became purified by knowledge of me and thus attained my divine love. They took refuge in me. They absorbed in me, first of all, took refuge in me, then became purified. So the purification we already spoke is that of what are the impressions that are gathered. How do I become free of the impressions? But first of all, to become free of the impression, I have to have a motive, right? The purpose. See, if everything is hunky-dory, nobody would do this investigation. So what is that you and I are seeking in life? You and I are seeking in life some kind of a stable sense of peace, happiness, energy, joy. That is what you and I are naturally gravitating towards in any situation. And when there are situations because of the impressions which lead me towards anger, fear, or worry, then naturally that prompts in me, okay, I need to move away from this. I need to find what is a way for this peace, right? That's the motive power here. So now, in that motive power, when I am looking at to purify myself, what is that I need to be focused on? So that is where the refuge in me is as simple as who is the right person that you think has the right quality that you need to develop. Look at it that way. Maybe it is your mother. Maybe there is something wonderful about how she's always very peaceful, and maybe whatever the mistakes you do, she always smiles and then maybe teaches you. Maybe that's the quality that you feel I need to develop further. Or maybe in your school, a friend who's always very kind and compassionate. So like that, in life, you and I need to find the right kind of role models and reflect on what is their quality. There is one beautiful thing that Prabhuji always says. To understand bhakti is impossible. But to see the life of a bhakta and to emulate is very easy. You cannot understand bhakti. It is not a logical process. But bhakta's life, the way Tyagaraja's singing, maybe you and I have not come to see Tyagaraja. We have heard. Maybe some of us have heard and also seen M. S. Subbulakshmi, or somebody else that we feel when they are singing, you are completely involved in that music. Why? Because that particular person, when they're singing, they no more have I am singing feeling. That I amness is not there. Completely only singing is there. Maybe you can see such a quality in somebody painting or maybe in dancing. So like that, any such activity where you see a flow happening which completely sweeps you away and you feel wow. So that wowness comes naturally from within you. See, somebody so many people dance, but you don't necessarily have that wow feeling for every dance. What makes you feel wow? When somebody is dancing or somebody is singing or somebody is cooking. So what is the quality of that? Reflect on that. And what made them that way? Reflect on that. So like that, Sri Krishna is here prompting. So now Ishaji said, Shiva is our idol. What is the quality? What are the qualities of Shiva that I am feeling attracted to? Is it his knowledge? Is it his compassion? Is it his non-attachment? Then how do I develop them? So when I keep my mind constantly focused on what I need to develop, like how beautifully Padmaji put it, I don't have to worry about getting rid of attachment, fear, and anger. I need to focus my attention on something higher. In one of the Prakriya, Prabhuji shows that with a very simple example. Imagine, you're holding this book. And now, in the same hand, let's say you need to hold this glass. What is the way? You simply hold this, the book naturally goes away. Right? That's all it is. It's as simple as that. Once you focus on the higher qualities, once you focus on the divine qualities, which you may find in different people, because at the end of the day, you and I learn by emulation. So we need the right role models. Why we venerate our gurus, why we venerate all these great masters, why we venerate our Sadguru. It is because their embodiment of those divine qualities. They constantly live and exude those divine qualities. Now, what are the divine qualities? Many divine qualities. But what are the divine qualities that you are attracted to? Focus on that. And focus on how do I bring it out in all my actions. In everything that I'm doing, if let's say kindness is what the divine qualities, how can I be kind in everything that I do? Can I talk to my child, my husband, wife, my family members kindly? Because most often we are usually very kind to strangers. But with our own family members, we may not be. We can tend to be very terse with them. Because, there's a feeling of, I know why they're doing the way they're doing. So like that, it's all these little day-to-day focus on developing these qualities. And as you develop these qualities, the suit that is covering your own divine nature, the suit that is covering your own divine nature, it starts eroding. And as it starts eroding, as the divine light starts shining, and as you start seeing the glimpse of it, you will know. And that has been guiding you so far. You've always been guided by your inner guru. And the same light will take you home. Have no worry. But here Krishna is giving us a process of what to focus on and from whom to learn. By calling out many persons in the past, he's prompting us, look for role models. Taking refuge in me, absorbed in me, he's prompting us, reflect on what are the divine qualities. Reflect on what divine qualities I need to develop. I don't have to worry about getting rid of my anger, my fear. I need to focus on what is the anger, opposite of that, what is the divine quality? Peace. Fear, fearlessness. So let me focus on what I want. Then naturally what I don't want will naturally go away. And as I become clean and clean and clean. That is what he's saying. Became purified by knowledge of me. So here, Shabari said, I will give the best to Rama within her own circumstances. In her own circumstances, she would go every day. She would think of, will this be liked by Rama? Okay, let me just taste it a little. Let me taste it a little. I love it. See, look at the quality of that bhakta. It is not really sure whether Rama really likes that or not. But what is that she is doing? This is the best I would like to have. A bhakta always offers the best that he wants to have to his idol, to his role model. This is what I would love to consume. Then let me offer this. That is the bhakti of Shabari. So what is that best I want for myself? When I start offering to others that best, then naturally that will grow in me and that will grow around me. And thus, it is nothing but natural to attain the so-called divine. Because divine is not somewhere else. It is already there. It has to become part and parcel of my everyday experience. And how to do that? By developing these qualities, by actively focusing on developing these qualities. All right?
Very nice.
Any questions or comments?
Vijayji, you said that, focus on the positive. When it is fear, focus on fearlessness. This I just saw a video. This is from WhatsApp University only, which I wanted to share. They say that, when we say to somebody, like, for example, I said, don't be scared. Okay. So when I say somebody, don't waste food, they don't hear the half of it. They only hear the other half of it. So the don't goes off. Waste food is there in their head. Okay. Don't be scared. Be scared is only there. So they say, focus on what you want to achieve. Eat food. Exercise. Instead of saying don't overeat, say eat right. So this is something when you said, no, I was like, I just read this, focus only on the right one. Forget what you don't want. You did not even mention that.
Correct. See, the thing is, for a moment, it's a very simple experiment and each one of you can do it. Just simply close your eyes. I'll give a small suggestion. I'll say, please don't think of red color balls. What is the very first thought that came to you? Now please open your eyes. What is the very first that red ball? So therefore, our mind latches onto the words and every word is associated with us in terms of whatever the experience that we may have. A little child may not know what attachment or fear is. But as a child, through the various circumstances, comes to know, somebody would have labeled it, some experience. And that is what the child latches onto. So therefore, the moment I say don't something, that image naturally comes. So what images I'm creating in my mind is where my energy flows. But you have added a don't there. Now that energy has no way to express itself. Don't fear. Okay, what do I do? Now that energy is disturbed. So therefore, when you simply offer what is that you want, okay, how do I become courageous? How do I develop fearlessness? It is said, for example, let's take one of our current examples. Sadguru Jaggi Vasudev. He says that, he used to go to death places, sit there all through the night and come home. Because he wanted to really see what happens when somebody dies and everybody keeps talking about, oh, the soul pops out and all that. So he simply wanted to understand. So now, most of us think of such a place as, oh my God, you should not even venture. It's such a dirty place. It's such a fearful place. A lot of negative energies are there. So we are so conditioned to think in terms of positives and negatives in life. So therefore, when I say focus on what you want, I'm not talking about positive or negative. I'm talking about, at the end of the day, you create what image you bring in your mind. You are a creative being. What are you creating? What image you bring in your mind is what you create. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it is negative or positive. So if I hear such a thing that, okay, so he went there, then, okay, is that the quality I want to develop? How do I also become fearless? How do I also become courageous? So what kind of steps I can take? So you see, the moment I ask such a question, very simple. How do I become courageous? Immediately next question comes. Okay, so how do I develop that? What steps can I take? So you see, your energy has already started finding expression. Who is courageous? Shall I talk to him? Or what are the other things that my friends are doing? So see, immediately your mind goes into, how do I bring it out? How do I manifest that? So this is who you are. You are a creative being. I'm not talking about artistic creation here. Your very nature is creation. You are a very creative being. And what you give to your mind is what you create, what occurs. So what are you giving is what is very important. Ishaji?
Yes, sir.
Any other points?
No, sir. No, sir. That's all.
Satishji, is your query also addressed?
Yeah, absolutely. Just one question with it's said scientifically. I mean, most of the articles refer the personality shaping happens within 7 years of a kid or age, within the 7 years of a person. Is that still what do you say, valid? Or as you said, right, it can be even groomed now the way we are
It is
contemplating,
like,
discussing.
in Kannada there is one gade, right? Gidavagi baggaddu maravagi baggite. So what it essentially means is, it is very easy to shape a plant when it is very young. The moment it grows, it is not that it is impossible, but it is challenging. So therefore, it's very important to focus on, if I have an opportunity and if I am aware, to give the right samskara. But no need to get riled up about it. Everything in life it begins with your own determination, your own sankalpa. When you determine, then you will see how to make it happen. So there are no conditions in life that only if this happens, this can happen. That conditional thinking comes mostly because of societal way of thinking. But that is not the reality. It is challenging. You'll have to figure out different ways. But it is possible.
And society always generalizes.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to fall in that general category.
But it's a correct statement that, it is very easy to give the right samskaras. So
They
most
engage.
often you will see children exhibit the culture and the traits that they've acquired during their formative years, right? Later, it becomes extremely challenging. See, it's very, for example, we keep doing these Bhagavad Gita satsangs with children and also with adults. With adults, there's a whole lot of misunderstanding and baggage that naturally comes because of the conditioning. With children, it is as simple as this.
It's like a clean slate. You can write it.
Yeah. Does that clarify, Satish?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Anything else? Anyone? Shall we end, Sarvanji? Shubhaji?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hari Om.